Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Andro Adwityo and my friends Setyo Aji Wibowo. In this time, I will present about implementing configure advanced service in restaurant. Okay, the first is configuring DNS service. On the tools, we choose the DNS, and there are window of the DNS manager, and then right click on the name of the server, and then we click the debug logging, and this is the window of the debug logging. We can choose the log that we want to record for the computer, and then this is the configuring the DHCP service. This feature used for give the range of IP address that you want to give the client. And then this is the name protection. In this case, we can give the protection to the DHCP feature. The process is when the non-Windows client get the IP address, so the DHCP will give the unique ID from the DHCP server to distinguish. And then this is the DHCP failover. This feature consists of two separate servers running the DHCP service. When a DHCP server fails, the second DHCP provides IP to the client. And then this is the DHCP group policy. In this feature, we can create the policy for the client by the IP address. And this is the IPv6 address feature. In this feature, is the client can don't directly require a DHCP server to assign an address. They can use a protocol configuration called stateless address auto configuration. Configuring IPAM. IPAM is IP address management. This feature is you can manage the IP address network. IPAM work with DNS and DHCP. This is the example that you want install the IPAM. And then we can link the domain group policy object using domain administrator credential. Okay, the next will be presented by Aji.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Setyo Aji Wibowo. I am from Group 3 for Class 2 and AP1. In this session, I will presentation about our project, the entitled Implementing Configuring Advanced Windows Server in Restaurant. Configuring Dynamic Access Control. The Dynamic Control, or DAC, in Windows Server 2012 allows an administrator to control and audit access and usage of file in a file server, the user on a network. DAC allows identification or grouping of file based on different classification such as file type or tags. The administrator can also restrict user access to this group. Administrator can use the DAC interface in the Active Directory Administrative Center Windows for implementing DAC. In this project, we implementing the create a claim tag, set up the resource properties, create a access rule, and at suitable role. I'm sorry for not being able to explain detail because it was due to time in constraint in the duration of the video. Audit file system properties. The function to track both successful and failed attempts to access file system object on server. And then auditing entry for global file SAGL. This is to monitor end user accessing the finance department file. This is the implementing policy change and staging. The policy change feature of Windows Server 2012 allows system administrator to modify a policy to allow or deny access to file for a set of resources. And staging is a functionality by which policy is tested before it is directly applied to a resource. Configuring additional service. This branches creates a set of the data from the destination where the data access request originated, so that subsequent requests for the same data can be retrieved from the local cache rather than the original location. This is the turn on branches, and it is to set branches hosted cache mode. Implementing disaster recovery, backup schedule wizard, and backup on wizard. Backup contains the file, registry setting, configuration setting, program, and the state during the time the backup was created. An administrator can schedule backup at predetermined time and specify different configuration, such as taking more than one backup each day at different time. Configuring Hyper-V virtual machine. Replication configuration enable as a replica server. Replication is a method that is performed after the initial virtual machine copy is made available to the server. The administrator can specify the primary server that will replicate its virtual machine. The other options that can be specified are the replication story points that need to be retained, and whether the communication to authenticate with the replication server is encrypted or not encrypted. And this is a presentation or from our group. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.